In an extraordinary twist that has rocked the British political establishment to its core, the Chief Justice of the United Kingdom has issued an unprecedented legal ruling against Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and Labour's Deputy Leader Angela Rayner, sending formal notice to His Majesty King Charles to commence the process of Starmer's removal as Prime Minister. This seismic decision follows damning revelations of an alleged systematic abuse of democratic procedures by senior Labour figures, with the court accusing the party of deliberately postponing local elections to suppress opposition and cling to power. What once seemed like fringe political chatter has now escalated into a national constitutional crisis. The Labour Party, long viewed as a champion of democratic values, now finds itself at the heart of a scandal described by legal experts as the most serious interference in electoral fairness since the post-war era. If you've been watching our content but haven't subscribed yet, you're not alone. Over 98% of our viewers haven't subscribed. If you want to stay updated with the latest news in a clear and simple way, now's the perfect time to subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be among the first to know about all the new updates. The catalyst, Rayner's election delay backfires spectacularly. At the center of the storm is Angela Rayner, whose controversial decision to delay local elections in 9 key council areas has now been legally condemned as an egregious abuse of political power. Rayner had defended the delays on the grounds of administrative necessity and council restructuring. However, in a landmark ruling, the Chief Justice determined that such claims were merely a facade, an attempt to disguise overtly political motivations. The court's findings were damning. Internal Labour Party documents, leaked correspondence, and eyewitness testimony from former Labour insiders revealed a chilling strategy: halt local elections to prevent a surging Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, from gaining ground. The ruling concluded that this amounted to deliberate electoral interference, with the explicit intention of rigging the political playing field. This is not just a political scandal. It is a fundamental breach of public trust. The judiciary's statement declared that Labour's actions violated the principles enshrined in the British democratic tradition and undermined the integrity of the electoral system itself. Chaos within Labour, MPs panic as party unity crumbles. The impact of the ruling was immediate and profound. Within hours, scenes of chaos unfolded behind closed doors at Labour Party headquarters. Senior MPs were reportedly in panic mode, with party officials scrambling to control the narrative. Public statements were hastily drafted, seeking to portray the court's decision as a misunderstanding of Labour's intentions. But the public wasn't convinced. From Manchester to Middlesbrough, Birmingham to Brighton, voters expressed outrage and betrayal. Social media platforms erupted with hashtags accusing Labour of betraying democracy. Even within the party's own ranks, cracks are beginning to show. Whispers of internal dissent are growing louder, as some MPs reportedly urge Sir Keir Starmer to act decisively, or risk watching the party collapse from within. Will Rayner fall? And is Starmer's leadership now at risk? Pressure is now mounting on Labour's leadership to take responsibility. Political analysts are speculating whether Starmer will be forced to dismiss Rayner to contain the fallout, or whether the scandal has already reached a point of no return. Some insiders suggest that if Rayner refuses to resign, she could face an internal vote of no confidence. Should that happen, Labour could be plunged into a bitter leadership battle just months before the expected general election, a scenario that would have seemed unthinkable just weeks ago. For Starmer, the ruling is more than a personal crisis. It is a test of leadership unlike any he has faced. Does he have the resolve to steer his party through the storm, or will he be consumed by the very scandal that now bears his name? Reform UK rises. Nigel Farage seizes the moment. Meanwhile, Reform UK has capitalised on the chaos with astonishing speed. Within minutes of the court's announcement, Nigel Farage held a press conference declaring the ruling a victory for democracy and the British people. He accused Labour of institutional corruption and vowed to challenge both Labour and the Conservatives at the ballot box. Across the country, Reform UK supporters have taken to the streets in a wave of renewed political energy. According to recent polling data, public support for the party has surged in the wake of the scandal, with disillusioned voters abandoning the traditional parties in favour of what they now see as the only untainted political alternative. Farage's momentum is building. What was once dismissed as a protest movement now appears poised to become a serious electoral force. Some analysts even speculate that Reform UK could disrupt the two-party system that has dominated British politics for generations. What happens now? A nation awaits. The court's ruling may have ended the debate over the legality of Labour's actions, but the wider legal and political consequences are only just beginning to unfold. The most urgent question now is whether the delayed elections will be ordered to proceed immediately, potentially allowing millions of voters to express their frustration at the polls in real time. Legal experts argue that Labour has no choice but to comply with the ruling. Failure to do so could spark a constitutional confrontation with the judiciary and deepen the public's already fragile trust in the system. In the coming days, eyes will turn to Buckingham Palace, Downing Street, and the House of Commons as the country grapples with a political reckoning unlike any in recent history. The message from the courtroom was clear: no party, no leader, and no institution is above democracy. And for Labour, the clock is ticking.